Hey there, so today we're doing a review on this guy, the Amazon Basics Travel Laptop Backpack. Here at Nomads Nation, we have been reviewing the world's best travel and EDC gear for the past 8 years. And in this video, I'm gonna show you everything that you need to know to decide if this is the bag for you. We're gonna pack it out, double check its advertised capacity, see if it fits carry-on restrictions, and I'm gonna give you my brutally honest pros and cons and overall scores so you can know if this bag is worth the price. And if you're not 100% sold that this is the bag for you, you're definitely gonna wanna stick around to the end of the video because that's where I'll offer some alternative bag suggestions that might better suit your needs. Let's jump into it and talk about the gist of the Amazon Basics Travel Laptop Backpack. For those unaware, Amazon is a small brand from Seattle, Washington. I'm not sure if you heard of them or not. So obviously we all know that Amazon is the world's largest marketplace. But over the years, Amazon has introduced their own basics collections as well. And they do so many things in the basics. Batteries, toilet paper, water bottle, paper shredders. And over the years, they've started to expand into bags. A couple years back, we reviewed their carry-on backpack. So this will be our second bag that we're reviewing from them. And the whole gist just kind of being like, as the name suggests, Amazon's not going for anything flashy here. Nothing premium. It is the basics, the cheapest of the cheap at the lowest conceivable price possible. And I'm gonna be here to tell you if I think it's gonna be worth that 20 bucks. Let's run over some of the top features. We got your traditional book bag silhouette with 1, 2, 3 pockets in the front, half panel opening into the main compartment with some tech storage as well, 2 side water bottle pockets, big old chunky top handle, and a basic but fairly comfy harness system. We also got a luggage pass-through holder here as well. Now Amazon doesn't give the volume of this bag, so we are gonna measure it ourselves. As you can see, we got the main compartment fully packed out with our factory grade measurement balls. Quick dimensions check. We got a height of around 19 inches, 12.5 inches width, and a fully packed out depth of around 9 inches. The main compartment volume. So the main compartment volume, we're coming in at 5, 10, 15, 20, just under 25 liters. And we only measured the main compartment. So you can see, like I said, we have the 2 pockets on the side and the ones in the front that all have their own independent volume as well. So I think with that all taken into consideration, you're gonna be closer to 28 or 30 liters in total of capacity with this bag. Amazon claims this bag weighs 1.6 pounds. I'm getting 1.7 pounds on scale number 1, and the same 1.74 pounds on scale number 2, which at this size of, let's say 28 liters, is a great weight to volume ratio. It's a very light bag. The bag only comes in one color option, black. Here you can see the bag when it's empty, and this is what it looks like fully packed out and worn on the Nomads Nation team. Amazon's return policy is obviously exceptional, but the warranty is a little, the wording is a bit confusing. But let's be honest guys, like, are we really focused on a warranty with a bag at this cost? We're looking at 20 USD for this thing. 20 bucks! It's like the cheapest bag I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not gonna lie, like, it's not bad for the price. But I gotta let you know that if at any point during this review, you're like, dude, 20 bucks, it's a no-brainer. I'm totally getting one. And you're gonna make a purchase. We do recommend doing so with the first link in the description below. Reason being, that link makes sure that you get the best price, and we oftentimes have discount codes. And that link also helps support the Nomads Nation YouTube channel and team, so we can keep making the best bag reviews on the web. Thank you very much. Let's talk about the front of the Amazon Basics Travel Laptop Backpack. We always kick off this section by talking about the aesthetic, and let's be honest, guys. We're paying 20 bucks for a backpack. We're not trying to get something premium looking or super sleek. This is about value. And honestly, like, judging by the reviews, we're at 4.6 stars, over 1,607 reviews as of recording. And most of the reviews that I read through are all about the functionality of this bag, not how it looks. But I also will say I have seen worse looking bags. Amazon's branding right here, super low key. Now real quick on the primary fabric, this is a polyester, as it's going to be at this price point. Not that polyester always is cheap, but if you're making a cheap bag, you're always gonna use polyester, if that makes sense. Polyester though is actually a phenomenal backpack material. It's lightweight, it's very water repellent. It's quite abrasion resistant, it looks good, it ages well. Polyester slaps, there's nothing wrong with polyester. And extra note, unlike the water resistance, a lot of people think that nylon is better than polyester. And there's no better or worse, but actually polyester is naturally better at being water repellent when compared to nylon. So the fabric will give you water resistance in its own right. This is definitely not a waterproof bag by any stretch whatsoever. We got this buckle right here on the front that can be used to carry things externally on your bag. Also gives the bag a little bit of an attitude aesthetically, I guess, kind of. Now let me introduce you to these front pockets because they're interesting. I'm gonna give Amazon props. Like, there's some innovation with what they did here that I haven't seen done on other bags. First off, this top front pocket, it uses a very cheap but effective microfiber lining on the inside, meaning it's the perfect spot for your sunglasses. And it has a nice little bit of volume to it as well. Like, it's not just gonna crush your glasses. We got a quick access pocket here, which is using a basic liner. This runs all the way down right there. Could be a good spot for some meds and health stuff you want quick access to. But here's where things get interesting. You see we have this zipper right here, which gets you into this compartment, which it's different. Now, quick note on these zippers, these are not name brand, they're not YKK or SBS or Ultra Zip. They're just Amazon's kind of in-house, potentially crappy zippers. And this is where I think you run the most risk of a cheap bag. Because at the end of the day, guys, this is definitely a cheap bag. Is it probably more valuable, like in terms of what you're getting for that 20 bucks than what a non-multi-trillion dollar corporate conglomerate could make? Yeah, probably. Like, you know, Amazon's got money, right? But this zipper is where I think that you have the most risk. And this is a great bag that exemplifies like why buy nice or buy twice exists. This is not nice. I don't know how long it'll last, but if it's not YKK or a better name brand zipper, the failure point here is, I don't want to say likely, but let's just say more likely than a typical bag. Check out this pocket, dude. It's got this admin section right here, which is kind of normal, but not like this, not with this like front flappage going on. And then there's all this extra volume up here as well, which I think is just a bizarre kind of use of space, but it also can come handy in a pinch. We got a key leash, clip your keys to, and then you can organize all your smaller bits of gear that you want quicker access to. And guys, like, and it's all quite functional, but keep in mind too, it's cheap. I mean, everything about this bag is just flimsy, and you know, you're definitely getting what you're paying for. But if you're on a budget, like, it's definitely gonna organize things. See, I got my wallet, throwing some pens in here, chapstick, passport-sized notebook, and you can see it's all really quite tidy. You can fit a book in this back sleeve. But then this volume at the top, it's just, I mean, it's kind of weird because what you have to do is pack something large in here that'll sit at the base of the bag and then use that space. But it would then block everything that's happening right here as well. But let's just say you are in a pinch, you want to throw your shoes in there. Actually, shoes are a perfect fit for this pocket. So it's just weird. The whole design is strange. I don't find it extremely intuitive, but I do think that extra space can be utilized. What are your thoughts on this pocket? I gotta hear. Let me hear from my peeps, my hardcore bag nerds, the carry community. This pocket, is there something I'm missing? Is there something brilliant that Amazon's designers thought of? Or is it just kind of like weird? Let me know in the comments. Let's talk about the middle of the Amazon Basics travel laptop backpack. The water bottle pockets. We're gonna test them out in just a minute once the bag is fully packed out. First, let's get into the main compartment. Also should be noted, like, use case for this bag. I think it is, as the name suggests, possibly a little bit more optimized for travel than EDC, but it's also a fine EDC, assuming you're looking for the basics. Now, one thing to note is if you have filled out this front pocket with something big and bulky, like I did with the shoes, then we're gonna have some problems getting into this main compartment here. Nothing terrible. You can see I can kind of push it aside and make it work, but with the half zip opening and the large item being in this pocket, it just, you know, it makes access kind of a. Inside the main compartment, we have a zippered mesh pocket and 2 sleeves on the back end. Let's start with the sleeves. I got a 16-inch MacBook Pro cutout. You can see we're gonna slide that in there, and will it fit? Yes. Now this is where things get interesting. I have the 15.6-inch version. And then there's also a 17-inch version, obviously for a 17-inch laptop. But as you can see, our 16-inch MacBook Pro kind of barely fits in there. I mean, actually, it's more than barely, it fits. 13-inch MacBook Pro should be able to fit a lot smoother. Oh yeah, for sure. But let's keep in mind a couple things about tech protection with this bag. Yeah. Okay, so it's not gonna be the best tech protection. On the good side, we have back padding here, right? Keeping the laptop safe. And we do have some padding actually on the bottom of the bag. It's actually a pretty decent amount of padding back here. Then there's no false bottom. What you'll see a premium bag brand do is like elevate the bottom of the laptop sleeve. So this means that the laptop lowest point it'll be in your bag is here. So if it hits the ground, it's less likely to get injured or damaged or hurts but the padding is kind of helping there as well. It's not as effective as a false bottom, but at 20 bucks, can't complain. This is where things might get a little annoying. Like, look at this panel. Like, it's completely covering laptop access. You gotta kind of do this every time, which are just small little things, right? But these little things are gonna really build up for your experience of using this bag as to where it's just basic. None of these things are thought out ahead of time. And this is where, well, one of the two areas that a cheap backpack will be separated from a more expensive backpack. Because cheap backpack uses cheap products, crappy zippers, crappy polyester. More expensive backpack is going to use premium materials, probably give you a lifetime warranty. And a lot of these things like access points and organization and comfort will have just been really, really, really well thought out. But then again, an expensive backpack is expensive. I got a 11.5-inch tablet, slides into the tablet sleeve there. And for the main compartment, yeah, like if you're traveling with this thing, there's still some space to use. We got 28 liters. If you're trying to keep it strict, if you're on a budget airline and you just want to bring like a weekend's worth of clothes, you could even just one bag with this, dude. Look at this. My packing cube with just like 3-ish days worth of clothes absolutely fits. You can throw your tech pouch or DOP kit on top of that and zip it on up. Now, one thing I love about a bag that uses really thin materials, this is interesting actually, they're using 2 different materials. See here, we've got the regular polyester, but then this panel right here is actually using more of a ripstop kind of material. And I have no idea why they did that. I think it gives the bag a little bit of attitude though, a little bit of life. But yeah, anyways, these materials are quite light. Like I said, it's a very thin, kind of cheaper polyester, but it actually has a pro to it where you can pack it out a lot better. Some of these more expensive bags, they use thick materials, better for abrasion resistance, but then they just don't pack as well. Let's put the magnifying glass on just, you know, what you're risking with this bag. Do you see what's going on right here? There's the camera. Might be a little hard to tell, might be a little hard to see. I'm gonna have to jerry-rig this, but let's see. All right, there you go. You see all that? We're getting a lot of seams that are fraying right now. And I only put this bag through a couple days of use. And it's like, it's one of those things where you can't complain about that at this price point. At least I'm telling you, like based on industry standards. Like if you spend 50 to 100 bucks on a bag, you can start to complain about that. If you spend 200 bucks on a bag, you can absolutely complain about that. But at 20 bucks, it's hard to really complain. But yeah, I mean, these seams, it's already coming apart. See this thing? See what's happening there? And this is the thing with this bag. I keep reiterating the price point because it's astonishing how cheap it is, but you know, cheap bag equals cheap materials equals cheap labor that they had to pay for, right? They didn't have the time to actually reinforce the fabric here and do like some quality bar tech stitching and you know, all the things that a better backpack would do. It's not in the budget at $20. So maybe this is not a great bag that I got, but like I wouldn't be surprised if this started falling apart in a year. But then again, if you look at the reviews on Amazon, there's a lot of people saying they got a lot of use out of this bag, so might be luck of the draw there. Water bottle pockets, 24-ounce Columbia. I actually like these water bottle pockets. They're stretchy, water bottle fits in there very nicely, and you got these compression straps, which can cinch down your bag when you're traveling on a more budget airline and you gotta get it in the carry-on box. We'll talk about that in a sec, but also can help you secure anything on the side of the bag, like your water bottle. Upside down test, very nice. 1 liter Yeti, let's try it out on the other side. Oh, very impressive actually. Actually, at the price point of 20 bucks, these water bottle holders don't suck, but will they stand the test of time? That I'm not quite as sure about. Last point, the top handle. Actually really like this. It seems like it's got a bit of better stitching. You can see all this bar tack stitching right there on both sides. It's not as reinforced as you might want, but I think the handle is gonna be okay. It's got some really nice grip though. It's really well padded. I actually think they went next level with this handle. They probably didn't need to at the price point, so props there. Couple of last notes in the middle. Self-standing. This bag gets the job done. It's definitely not a great self-stander, but if you got a decent base on the bottom of the bag, it can kind of do like the Leaning Tower of Pisa self-stand. And then for carry-on compliance, this is our carry-on box, or shall we say frame. We're still working on it, but it'll give us a pretty good indication of carry-on compliance for most US flights. You can see when the bag is fully packed out, it's not happening because mostly of the depth. But let's say if we remove the shoes, just to give you a better idea, just to be fair, you know, let's be fair. You don't have to pack out that main compartment that way. And you can see We're actually probably just gonna be able to get that in there. Ooh, just barely. But carry-on compliance check is gonna be a yes-ish, depending on how you pack it out. And also for carry-on compliance, it's gonna vary on different airlines. That's just 18 by 14 by 8, which is just like the usual US carry-on size, but that can change in the US and that can change depending where you are in the world, so also keep that in mind. And another thing to also keep in mind is if you're watching this review and you're really enjoying it, I'd like to, well, welcome you to the Nomadization channel again, and also let you know that we don't just do YouTube videos here at Nomadization, but we also have the Nomadization newsletter. With Nomadization, like our mission is to show you the best gear for your life on the move, whether it's travel gear, EDC gear, backpack, sling, wallets, packing cubes, you name it, we review it. And in the newsletter, we kind of take it even a step further. We're bringing you all the breaking news of what's happening in this industry. I'm talking about the newest releases, limited edition collabs, industry trends, and everything in between. So if you want to keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening in the world of carry, EDC, and travel, and get access to our exclusive discount codes and giveaways, you should join our 10,000 plus subscribers and sign up to the Nomadization newsletter, which you can do by finding this globe emoji in the description below. Hope to see you in your inbox. Okay, moving on, let's talk about the back of the Amazon Basics Travel Laptop Backpack. Well, there's really not a ton to talk about, but let's start by testing the luggage pass-through. So it looks like it's pretty good, actually. Actually, looks very good. Granted, it's a cheap strap and nylon webbing, but it's looking pretty durable to me. It's allowing you to carry your bag upright on the suitcase. It's checking a lot of boxes for me. The bag's upright on the suitcase. It's not too tight, nor is it too loose. And it's super reinforced. You can see all this reinforced stitching on either side, so this part won't pop out anytime soon. Shoulder straps and back panel padding, you know, I think it's okay given what you're paying. Actually, I think it's pretty good considering it's a $20 bag. Like, there's more comfort on this bag than the Fjallraven Kanken, which is 5x the price. Now, obviously, those are two very different styles. Amazon is very clearly trying to give you padding here. We got a ventilated mesh on the inside, a nice width on the shoulder straps, and a little bit of ventilation here as well. When I was testing this bag out, I found out a pretty comfortable wear. All things in mind considering the price point. I wish that we had some web holders to stop this dangle, to keep our little dangle protester from protesting. Sternum strap is gonna help you redistribute the weight from your lower back to your upper torso. Much more comfortable this way. Honestly, it's pretty comfortable. But a lot of this sewing work is looking pretty shoddy, dude. Like, you see this binding on the outside of the shoulder straps right here? It's just not very confidence inspiring. That's what I'm gonna say about that. Let's talk about the overall pros and cons of the Amazon Basics Travel Laptop Backpack. Pro number one, price. Pro number two, also price, right? Let's just be honest about what the value proposition of this bag is. It's just like insanely well priced for what you're getting at 20 bucks, wow. But pro number three, I will say there is a decent amount of comfort in this bag. And I'm gonna throw a fourth pro into the list, where I think you're actually getting a decent amount of organization, which is never a guarantee on a lower priced bag like this. But on the flip side, let's talk cons. Con number one, it's just, you know, it's cheap. We got shoddy stitching, we've got seams coming out already. This is not a bag that will last years, or at least don't expect it to last years. If it does, that's just kind of an extra bonus. Con number two is gonna be the severely compromised laptop access. And con number three is just like the kind of weirdness when it comes to the extra space up in here. Okay, let's take these pros and cons, mash them together and give you our overall scores. Now, one thing to note with these scores is they're very personal, just based on my experience using this bag, and they're also based on the price point. That's why for score number one, comfort, I'm gonna give it like a 4 out of 5. This is probably one of the more comfortable cheap bags I've ever reviewed. I'm actually pleasantly surprised by how comfortable this bag is to wear, considering the fact that it's 20 bucks. For score number two, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 as well. This bag has got really bad stitching and binding and loose threads, but at $20, like, you can't really expect much better. And at 20 bucks, I'm not gonna lie, it's actually kind of impressive what Amazon was able to pull together. And for my overall score, I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5. It's cheap, it gets the job done. I wouldn't expect it to last longer than a year or two, but if that's what you're looking for and your budget is super thin right now, I think it's a pretty good option. And just a reminder, if you agree and you're thinking about picking one of these bags up, gonna make a purchase, we do recommend doing so with the first link in the description, just because that link makes sure that you get the best price, and if we have any discount codes, that's what they'll be. But if you're not quite sold on this bag, let's talk some alternatives that you might like more. First up, if you're new to the Nomads Nation channel, you should definitely check out our leaderboard video. This is where myself and the Nomads Nation team, we get together and pick our favorite bags in different bag categories. And I implore you to watch it if you're new to the channel and kind of like the bag scene, because we don't just pick like the super expensive bags, we pick some cheaper ones and some mid-price ones and everything in between. And I'd say like if you're in the market for a bag, it might open your eyes to like what else is out there. And you know, sometimes if you buy nice, you don't have to buy twice. Also, there's a lot of incredible like micro brand, small family owned backpack businesses out there that could use your money a lot more than Amazon. No judgment out of the way, just saying there's a lot of cool bags out there. We highlight a lot of them in that video, which I've linked above. Also, if you're new to Nomads Nation, you might not know this, but after reviewing hundreds of the world's best bags, we got our own fiery desire to make our own bag brand. So we launched one. Our bag brand is called Firo. We make sleek gear for business professionals to stay streamlined and focused. We've got an everyday carry bag, we've got a travel bag, we've got a sling. We're building our own incredible community. And you can learn more about Firo with the second link in the description or at firo.co. But if we're really close with this Amazon bag, let me give you two specific alternatives that might get you a little bit closer. My first alternative recommendation will be the Decathlon Quechua. No idea how to pronounce it. But it's an incredible budget bag. I think you might come in at double this. I think it's more around 40 or 50 bucks. But that's like a 5 out of 5 on value because you're spending twice as much, but it'll probably last years and years and years, as it's made by Decathlon and they know gear. And my second alternative recommendation is gonna be the Tomtoc T71. Again, this recommendation is not gonna compete at the $20 US price point. If you're trying to go as low as possible, just get the Amazon bag. But if you do have a bit more of a budget and you want to increase the quality of your bag and the lifespan, Tomtoc is one of the best value brands out there. Their bags are closer to like 70 to 100 USD, but for what you get for that is like insane. I'm talking high quality materials, brilliant laptop protection, intuitive features, and a lot more of a modern, sleek aesthetic. All three bags are pretty budget in my opinion, but they do it differently. Amazon's ultra budget, Decathlon, Quechua is like mid-range budget, then Tomtoc is kind of like more premium budget. It's kind of funny, it's like premium, but it's still budget. Honestly, the world of bags is quite a rabbit hole. But I do think these two alternatives are definitely worth consideration if you're looking for a bag, and you can learn more about them with these videos right here. If you got any questions, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Aaron, this is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you guys next time.